fantastic evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
How are you all doing?
Fine.
I mean, in today's business session, I want to know if all your businesses are doing good.
Yes.
Fantastic. So, a very important update as we get close to our 25 years that is going to be celebrated on this August. On this August 27th. And the beauty of August 27th is August 27th is when Mekon in real had its first meeting. And the beauty is on the same day we also got our venue, that is the President Hotel, which is not too far. And it's also on a Sunday, ideally when we want to have our celebration. Now on this day, we will also be opening up with the invite for your better halves or +1. We will throw more clarity on this particular thing on the group with exactly how you need to go about this invite and how you need to go about registering your spot as well. Because this is a complete planned event, we will need confirmation from each of the participants saying I'll be there, and there will be a certain process that we will all follow as Mekonians. With that, I also have a small update from our VP Education. Speech slots have been booked by Toastmaster Mehjabin and Toastmaster Gaurav. The TTM role has been booked by Toastmaster Jyothi. Except this, all the other roles are open. The interested members can get in touch with the Vice President Education. Now with that, I also force a lot more of you who have not been very active with taking up roles. This is your chance to go ahead, take up any role that you can for that particular meeting. Over to the Sarcha.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to the M5 Summit. Marvelous Merry Monday Mekon meetings. So, what time did you all wake up today? What time did you all wake up today? 5. Can I trust the verity of that statement?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So, did you hear your mornings whispered to you today?
Yes.
Yes? Excellent. I heard one whisper too. It said, no morning or evening whispers or noises of any kinds allowed in the Mekon meeting. So, let's take 5 seconds and silence those phones. Thank you. So, interesting theme today, morning whispers. I really had no idea what it meant, so I googled it. So the Google said that early morning, in the gentle hush of the morning, the universe whispers its secrets to you. That is what morning whispers is. So in the same search, I also came across a survey apparently that they did in the US. They do all kinds of weird surveys in the US. Now, what they did was they wanted to find out what is your waking thought in the morning. What is the first waking thought that you have? So when they did this survey on a bunch of men and women, 56% of the men and 48% of the women, you know what their waking thought was? Any guesses? What it was or what it might have been about?
Meetings.
For breakfast.
That is for women for breakfast, men's maybe meeting.
Apparently, and interestingly, that first thought apparently is about money. So they all think about money. And these people that participated in the survey that thought about money, they're also the people that don't hit the snooze button on their alarm. And they're also the people apparently, of all the people that participated in the survey, that make the most money. So now, you know that morning whispers are all about money matters. So if you want to make more money, listen to the mornings. I told my son this because he was planning a career in finance. So he said, Ma, from now on, I'll just stay in bed and learn all about it in bed. No need to go anywhere. So lucky for us though that the morning whispers don't whisper about just money. They whisper about all kinds of different things to different people. Like this really gifted individual I know who embarked on a journey in sales. But then the morning whispers had a different plan for him. They gently nudged him towards training, where he trained over 10,000 students in the art of personality development. Through this he also transformed into a leader and accepted the position of a principal at the Achieve School of Education, where he continues to nurture and mentor young minds. So, Toastmasters and guests, with a huge round of applause, please help me welcome the president of our club, Toastmaster Balaji.
Such a pleasure to always listen to Toastmaster Lakshmi introduce me for obvious reasons. Such a nice introduction. Okay, and of course, we have a very, very special guest today. I'm using the word special because I think we have met a couple of times on stages where she's beaten the black and blue out of me. So I think we have one guest for our club. I'd request the guest to go ahead, introduce herself. I know you'll be more comfortable wherever you are more comfortable.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
I'm Lavanya. I was a Toastmaster too 6 months ago from Republic of Toastmasters. Right now, I'm a teacher at Open House. Any guesses what I teach?
English?
Public speaking, yes. I teach public speaking for students from UKG to class 9. And my club has meetings on Sunday mornings. And my work clashed that way and I couldn't attend. That is when I started to, inquire about which is the best club that offers Toastmasters on weekdays. You know which is this, so I'm right here. And that is about me. And with teaching alongside, I also create content. I feel very humble when I say recently I hit 25k plus followers on Facebook. Now trying that magic on Instagram and YouTube. If you want any public speaking tips, you can go back to my page, Lavanya VK. Just a little bit promotion though. And that is about me, and I'm looking forward to have a great meeting. Thank you.
Just 1 minute short from an icebreaker. Okay, and also I think Lavanya is being very, very modest, but she won the division level speech contest last year, and definitely not a very pleasant sight to see you as a non-Toastmaster. High time you make the right choice. Okay, and welcome to Mekon. Let's hear it for our guest one more time. With that, there's someone who never has a gap, who never hits the snooze, who never ever waits for the alarm to ring. Please make some noise for our secretary, Toastmaster Sharanye.
Thank you, Toastmaster Balaji. A very good evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and your guests present here. Here are the minutes of meeting number 1224 held on 31st of July 2023. Theme: It Gets the Job Done. Word of the Week: Agog. The business session started at 6:19 p.m. and was chaired by President Toastmaster Balaji. In the business session, the following points were addressed. President Toastmaster Balaji mentioned that all the 7 executive committee members attended the COTP on the 30th of July 2023. The in-house district officer DTM Udanka had a session regarding awards in the COTP session. It was also mentioned that Toastmaster Sandeep trained the other treasurers in the COTP. President Toastmaster Balaji commended the Vice President Membership Toastmaster Shivaprasad regarding the renewals, as 80% of the members, that is 42 members, have renewed for this term. Vice President Education Toastmaster Ujjwal mentioned that the Icebreaker Marathon will be happening on the 7th of August. The role of MC, GE and one individual evaluation was open for the next week, and the interested members were requested to contact him for the same. The regular meeting started at 6:22 p.m. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Lakshmi started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and later handed over the charge to President Toastmaster Balaji. President Toastmaster Balaji opened the meeting, spoke on the theme and introduced the Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Sindhushri. Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Sindhushri spoke on the theme and introduced the following role takers for the day: Timer Toastmaster Gaurav, R-Counter Toastmaster Latha, Grammarian Toastmaster Pavani, PP Evaluator Toastmaster Abhimaan. The prepared speech session had the following speakers: Toastmaster Raja attempting Level 2 Project 1, which was evaluated by DTM K Prabhakara. The Moments of Truth session was conducted by Vice President Membership Toastmaster Shivaprasad. The table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Anusha and had 6 speakers in total. The general evaluation was conducted by Toastmaster Jyothi. The winners of the week were Best Prepared Speaker, Toastmaster Raja, Best Evaluator, DTM K Prabhakara, Best Table Topic Speaker, DTM U Bhat, Best Role Taker, MTG, Toastmaster Anusha. The President closed the meeting at 8:52 p.m., which is followed by the National Anthem. Thank you and back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sharanye. I think we missed out one part. Even I didn't throw much clarity on the last week's business session. Even our DTM Udanka was present as one of the trainers who took us all, that is all the clubs, through a journey of how you could win more awards for your club, and we're definitely proud of that as well, DTM Udanka. Morning whispers. Now, I wouldn't really go ahead to the depth of that particular theme because we all know what morning whispers are. But how many of you want to know my morning whisper? Not sneaky, definitely. But I'm definitely going to say it out loud anyway. The only thought that I wake up every morning is with, do I want to be a winner today or do I want to be a loser today? Of course, I'm going to give you all a story which will rein it back to this particular statement. But how many of you can be good judges of a situation? Most of you, very good. Now let me ask you all a question. There's a sales manager. He's got 2 of them in his team. One person who is constantly hitting targets, and there is another person who's not even close to the number that he needs to achieve. In fact, he's not even started the path of achieving targets. On a regular day, who do you think is receiving more calls from the manager? The one who is hitting targets or the one who is not hitting targets? The one who is hitting targets. Clearly shows that most of you have not been in sales. The one who is not hitting targets.
Again, it depends, Balaji, on what perspective he's taking. If it's appreciation, who's getting the targets, and for depreciation, the person who's not getting the targets.
Fantastic. And knowing human beings, they love to depreciate. So definitely, in my case, at least now that I was in sales for close to 3 to 4 years, both as sales manager and sales head, definitely I would place a lot of calls to the one who's not hitting targets, and just not calling the person who is not hitting targets. The sales manager goes on to do certain things that he shouldn't be doing. One, micromanagement. Now, how would this micromanaging work? You should do it like this. You know what? This is the path you should take. This is how you'll reach your results. You did this, that's why you didn't get your result. You do this instead. Now, what the sales manager forgets is different things work for different people in a different way. Forgetting this, the manager starts to completely leap into this person's life, and his day is decided by the manager and not him anymore. Now, how is this related to my morning whisper? There was an individual who was working for 4 to 5 hours every day and getting tired. And now the same individual is working for 10 to 12 hours and is still ready to work more. This is no one's journey but my journey, by just a simple psychological thought that I am following from the last 2.5 years. This is definitely not a motivation speech. This is definitely not trying to inspire you, but this is just a simple psychology that I am trying to teach you here. Whenever you plan on doing something and you do it, you send a direct message to your mind stating you are a winner. And when you decide on doing something and you don't do it, you're directly sending another message to your mind saying you are a loser. And when you have sent enough messages that you are a loser to your mind, what happens is your mind takes over. However, we all understand our mind is ours, but when your mind has a mind of its own, the way it will play with your day is entirely different. We see certain individuals working for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and then say, I am so tired. One small yelling by the boss and their entire day is ruined. Little extra work pressure and the person gets so anxious. All this is the resultant factor of sending this very message. How do you substantially increase your productivity? I'm not talking about money here. Money is definitely a product of productivity. But how do you increase productivity at the ground level? By sending in credible message that if you decide on something, you'll do it. In my weekly schedule, if I have decided Tuesday evening I'm going for a movie, I'm going for a movie. Saturday night I'm going to a pub with my friends, I'm going to a pub with my friends. That's how serious I've taken this concept. And if I've decided that today I will be working 10 hours straight on this particular concept, I better work 10 hours straight on that particular concept. Now you might ask me, is there no room for this? There is definitely room for this. That is, if you're doing X and you get a task of priority 2x, then obviously you can go to your task 2x. Your mind has clear understanding that you have moved to 2x for obvious reasons. But if your task is X, but you choose Goa instead, right? That's basically a task not done. So what is my morning whisper? Every single morning, I've made a list of my tasks for the day. And my morning whisper is, I want to be a winner today and not a loser. With that, I would love to open up this fantastic session at Mekon. This is session 1225. And why is this a special session? Because 25th year celebration is coming up. And look at the session's last 2 digits, 25. Why am I trying to connect these two things? People like connections. Okay, just for that smile that I wanted to see on your face, because I have to put in some efforts to see all your smiles. But the Toastmaster of the day, you don't have to put an effort to see her smiling. You don't have to put an effort to see her happy. You don't have to put an effort for her to put efforts. Someone who is always ready, someone who is always ready to go, someone who firmly believes in Nike and just says, just do it. Let's give it up for our master for the day, Toastmaster Mamatha.
The introduction of the president itself has got so much of energy on me to talk here. A very good evening to all the Toastmasters and dear guest who is present here. Today's theme is morning whispers. So most of us here, morning whispers means the moment we think is birds chirping or cocks doodling, either the alarm, and the one everybody hated most morning whisper is alarm. The olden days alarm where it sounds till you switch off with such a loud noise. So that is what I got for my kids, so that my morning whispers I don't need to make in their ears. Get up, it's time for school, get ready, go. And my morning whisper is what I have to cook for today. What is the breakfast? That is my morning whisper. And for my kids, morning whisper is whether my mom prepares breakfast whichever we like. If we don't like, what is the choice? We should ask our dad or we should ask our tata to get something for a breakfast. That is their morning whisper. And near our house we see many birds which is chirping, so that is how we get up usually. And when we go to park, we see many people who are whispering in their ears itself, like, oh, ಇವತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಾಯ್ತಾ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೊಸೆ ಹಂಗೇನಾ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಳಿಯ ಹಿಂಗ, ಇವ್ರು ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅವ್ರು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. Dan walking, and most of the people, they just sit on the benches and relax. That's what I have seen. So I stopped going for the parks in the morning itself. It's better I go in the evening where people won't find many people where you can hear the whispers of the human beings. And to know the shock, everybody believes that girls chit-chat more. No, guys chit-chat more. Girls will be busy in their works. They'll be roaming. They'll be like, rush back home. You have to go to college. You have to cook at home. That, this, and but guys, they don't have any work. They'll just sit and blabber. What is this? And I don't know how everybody has come to conclusion that ladies chit-chat more when compared to boys. That's the faults I have observed these days. To avoid this whispers between the human beings, to get the better communication, Rajshri Medley, he has founded a Toastmaster Communications Club at YMCA, Santa Ana, California. Just a minute. Around 282,000 plus membership and 144 countries through 14,700 plus clubs across the world. To take this meetings forward smoothly without any whispers, we have role takers. As and when I call upon the role takers, I request the role takers to come and explain what is the efficient role for the benefit of the guests. I call upon timer Toastmaster Pavani.
Morning is an important time of the day because how you spend your morning can often tell you what kind of day you're going to have ahead. A fabulous evening to one and all present here. As the timer for today, my key role is to jot down the time taken by all the speakers and demonstrate the timing cards to ensure the speakers are aware of their time limit. In the prepared speech session for the first speaker, the time allotted is 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I'll be raising the green card. At 5 minutes, I'll be raising the yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. Coming to the second speaker, the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll be raising the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll be raising the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. In the table topic session, all the speakers are allotted 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll be raising the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll be raising the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. The individual evaluators are allotted 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be raising the green card. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll be raising the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. Lastly, I just want to hope that all the speakers strive to be within their time allotted. I'll be back with my report during the general evaluation. Back to you.
Thank you, Pavani, for the detailed explanation. Now next is our counter, Toastmaster Abhimaan.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the R counter is to note the words and sounds that are used as pause filler by anyone who speaks. I will listen for overused words including well, but and so. I will listen for filler sounds including and her. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times each speaker used these expressions. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhimaan. Now PP Evaluator is Toastmaster Madhu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mamatha. Happy evening to fellow Toastmaster and esteemed guests. So today my morning whisper was about taking this role as a PP Evaluator itself, addition to my regular task. So today I got an opportunity to serve as a parliamentary procedure evaluator. All the speakers should ensure and avoid speaking about sex, politics, religion, since it may make people uncomfortable and hurt sentiments. Turn off all your electronic devices that can make noise and disturb speakers. Enter and exit the meeting room only during the applause. And avoid cross talks while someone is speaking at the lectern. At the end of the meeting, I'll give my evaluation. Thank you. Over to Toastmasters.
Thank you, Madhu. Next is the Grammarian Toastmaster Shiva.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. A very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. I'm saying good evening, but the theme for today is morning whispers. And speaking of mornings, there was one very famous person who once said, "This morning, I woke up at night." Now, to avoid such usages, we have a grammarian in every Toastmasters meeting, and my job will be to make note of the good usages of English and the not so good usages wherein I will be suggesting improvements. We also have a word of the day, which is verity, and it means, and it is a belief, idea or principle that is generally accepted as being true. And one usage of this in the English language could be, she has spent her life in a search for eternal verities. I request everybody to use the word of the day whenever you get a chance to speak at the lectern, and I'll make note of that also. With that, back to the Master of Ceremonies.
Today's speaker one, actually, since it's an icebreaker speech, so there is no introduction of the speaker. I call Evaluator 1 to read out the evaluation guidelines. Toastmaster Sushruth.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guests, and my target speaker in particular. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. Notes for the evaluator, that's me. This member is completing their first speech in Toastmasters. The goal of the evaluator is to give the member an effective evaluation of their speech and delivery style. Because the icebreaker is the first project a member completes, you may choose to use only the notes section and not the numerical score. I'll be giving my reports when called upon. Thank you.
The speaker is attempting the icebreaker speech. The title is The Branding Latha N. Level 1, Project 1. Please put your hands to welcome Latha N.
Life is all about prioritizing the right choices, and leaders are born, not made. With these quotes, I start my Toastmasters journey as I'm giving my first presentation over here. Good evening, everyone present in the class, and this is Latha N giving my first speech, and I'm here to take this speech is going to be my first baby steps in my Toastmasters journey. Now, introducing about my family. I belong to a very progressive family wherein my parents always believe that you always need to strive hard for whatever you need to accomplish. But I go a little contrary to them. I never believed in hard work. I always believe in smart work. And for me, smart work is a combination of hard work, the right skill sets, and the right attitude, which gives success undoubtedly. Now, talking about my family, my father is a businessman, my mother is a homemaker. I have 2 younger siblings who are trying to make a niche in the corporate world for them, being engineers. And coming to me, I'm a BCom graduate from Bhagwan Mahavir Jain College, and I've done my MBA in marketing from Symbiosis Center of Distance Learning. And I am a CSDP, that is Certified Learning and Development Professional from Ripples Academy, which gives me a niche in the learning and development field, being a very prestigious certification what I've done. And I carry 100+ certifications from LinkedIn as a learning and development professional. Talking about the topic what I've chosen for this journey, the branding Latha N. So I would like to take you guys all from the journey, from Latha N, what was born, from Latha N, what is today in front of you guys. Now, I was born on 24 June 1984. As women don't give their years for the reasons of their age, I'm giving the year of birth what I was born. So it's 24th June 1984, a typical Cancerian I am. And I started my schooling from New Oxford English School. And then I moved to Mitralaya Girls High School. From there, then I moved to Shri Bhagwan Mahavir Jain College. Then I moved to Symbiosis Center for Distance Learning and then Ripples. So this is my journey of my education. And then I started my corporate journey. My corporate journey starts from Hewlett Packard as HP, what we know them. There I started as a trainer. And back in the year 2005, when I'm talking about 2005, it looks very, very back. And when we started, the corporate world was not that very keen to understand that learning and development can also be a department over there. They never concentrated that you need to develop soft skills also. It was more of technical skills, business skills if you have, that's more than enough to get you into a corporate world. But I understanding the roadblocks, what many of my friends, my cousins, or the people whom I know were facing, then I started developing my interest as a trainer. And I started learning the things what I need to help others to develop, become a better person, skills-wise, attitude-wise, all the things, which will help them to go up the ladder of success. Then I joined Accenture, and in the year 2008, by that time people had recognized that learning and development is also as important as technical skills for the workforce and for the company to develop. And from there I moved to WNS. I don't think anyone of you heard about WNS. It's a very small company which is with headquarters in Pune, but a small piece of it in Bangalore. Then from the year 2012, I felt that I am not growing. I am stuck where I am. Being a corporate trainer, everyone comes to the class, everyone listens to what I am telling, but I don't face difficult audience. I don't face difficult situations. I don't face difficult people. So what do? I don't want to be stagnant. So then I thought, okay, let me move out as a freelancer. Now being very good at networking, I moved out as a freelancer. It was not a very easy journey, a very difficult one. But being the determined person what I am by nature, and the person who believes that every situation has two things. Either run away or face it and win it. So I go for the second one, face it and win it. So then I started my journey. I started adapting to the market. I shouldn't tell market, but this is how we term it in the freelancers journey, that how adapting to the market, what is going to be best for me, how do I understand my market, how do I do it, and how do I be successful. Now talking about this journey, I was happy. I thought in the last 11 years what I have done, I wouldn't have done in 7 years of my corporate journey. So happy with that, learning every day, every minute, every second. And talking about my interest, I am a very good cook. Everyone can see that. I am a foodie. I like reading. I'm more into fiction novels. All Jackie Collins, Sidney Sheldon novels I've done. So finding a third writer now whom I can start reading. And trained Latin and classical dancer. And I can even dance on a generator sound. That's my skill set. And I love traveling. Oh, I'm sorry, not love traveling. I should say like traveling, because if you are into hobbies, you can't tell love. You have to always tell like. So the trainer inside me always comes out with feedback. So I like traveling. I like reading books. I like eating. I like seeing the new restaurants in Bangalore, making new friends, networking, and every possible thing what a Homo sapien loves. So this is all about me. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Now I call upon Evaluator 2, Toastmaster Raja, to read out the guidelines for the speaker 2.
One of my morning whisper I really hate is my phone telling me, pick me up, pick me up. And I pick it up, it's all useless information. Okay, so today's speaker, I'll read out the purpose statement. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. Notes for the evaluator: the member completing this project is practicing the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. To do this, the member presents a topic that is new and unfamiliar to the club members. Listen for a topic that is unusual and unexpected in your club.
take note of the members' ability to present the unusual topic in a way that keeps the audience engaged. I wish all the very best for the speaker.
Now the second speaker, she is attempting level 2, project 1. She works at HRD at Infocon. She has done her diploma in counseling skills from Banjara Academy, and she is passionate about life and have versatile interest and a voracious reader, and she likes to read fiction in particular. The title of the project is The Universe Conspires. Let's welcome Toastmaster Jyothi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mamatha, for that introduction. Apply, no reply. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. More than a decade ago, I was verily a gig economy earner. I then thought that I should have a stable income and a long-term career path. Hence, my resume was roaming all around Bangalore, both in its physical and soft form. I was very busy. My days were scheduled, meeting, going for my interviews. From a couple of kilometers to 20 kilometers of distance from my residence. My mode of transport was by walking, because paying for the auto and bus charges would pinch my pocket. Distance beyond 5 kilometers had the privilege to receive me by bus. Auto ride was not in my realm. And I had a fantasy. I had a wish to work with the people, and hence I was called for an interview as a insurance advisor, stock checker in the shop, NGO coordinator, counselor in foreign spoken language institute, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Few interviewers rejected me, heaven knows why. And I rejected few of them, and I know why, which we shall discuss some other time. So as I said, I had a fantasy of working for the people, with the people, with the barest minimum of desk work and more of fun in its true spirit. With this in mind, I visualized and I basked in the glorious fantasy world of such a workspace, not hearing to real people laughing and mocking at my insanity. It was one of those lazy Saturday afternoon when I received a phone call. Hello, am I speaking to Jyothi Rao? Yes, speaking. Please may I know who is there? I'm Colonel Vinod here. I have received your resume from Meera and I want to meet you. Yes, please let me know where and when should I come to meet you? Jyothi, send me your resume and I will visit you at your home. I was dazed, dumbstruck. No, sir. I am familiar with Bangalore. You just tell me where do I come and I will meet you. Jyothi, as I said, send me your address and I'll meet you on Monday afternoon 3 o'clock. I gave him the address. And I said, I will confirm with you on Monday morning about the time. I did not speak about this to anyone except myself. What a weird person. Who conducts interview at home? Does he have some motive? Some other intention? Should I skip this meeting or should I take a risk? Listening to him, he sounded like an elderly person, and he said he's related to Meera, with whom I was recently acquainted. My need of a job overpowered all my doubts, and I agreed with him to meet him at 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon. As I agreed with him, I also remembered the values and principles my parents had imbibed me. Never to take shortcut on the path of growth. Never to compromise yourself and values to gain anything in return. Keeping this in mind, I invited one of my friends to come to my place on Monday. Monday afternoon, sharp 3 o'clock, I saw Colonel Vinod at my doorstep. I was relieved and relaxed to see an elderly person around 72 years standing there. I ushered him in and introduced him to my friend. She lingered there for some time, and then she slowly retired to the far end of the room and continued with her work. As we started the conversation, which starts from the weather and goes on to the mundane topics, he said that in his years of experience, he has understood the dilemma of a middle-aged single lady, trying to make both ends meet, and with the constraints of emotion and financial problems, he preferred to visit me at my home because he had a chauffeur-driven car and plenty of time in his pocket. He also added, Jyothi, when you are in your own territory, your level of confidence will be high, and I can evaluate you seeing that. I was mesmerized with this gentleman. It was me who had a small opinion and thought. Over a period of conversation, we came to know that the person whom he admired and who had made an impact in his life were the same people who had walked with my father in their life journey. With high regards to my late father, he said he would surely do all that he could and see that to get me a job. 6 months later, I did get a job similar to what I had visualized and what I had fantasized. Also, I did not attend any formal interview because I was referred by Colonel Vinod. And that was the time. And this incident made me realize that if you go a step beyond your belief system, the universe will conspire to make you reach what you aspire. And back to the master of the day.
Thank you, Jyothi ma'am, for that wonderful and inspiring speech. Now is a very exciting session. That's the table topic session. Today's table topic master she is working as a data analyst and she likes to go to gym. Let's welcome Toastmaster, table topic master of the day, Toastmaster Mehjabin.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mamatha. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Every thought is a seed. If you plant an inferior seed, you cannot expect a superior plant. So, table topic is one of the exciting parts of Toastmaster meeting. And as we all know, it's so super thrilled, and for me as a table topic master, I know how you're feeling as a speaker. Because it forces us to be audacious for our answers and inspires impromptu thinking. Table topics isn't a section where you can really prepare for. So I got some cheats. Let me show you how you can really pick up the questions. So I got some cheats. I will call you one by one. You just pick one, and whatever you will get, you just take it and answer it. So my first question, according to the theme, is the morning whispers. DTM K Prabhakara, please.
The topic, I'm still admiring her speech.
stages.
Please.
Oh, I have to pick up this.
Yeah.
Is the earth flat? Convenience.
Convince the audience.
Oh, convince the audience that it is. Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. When you walk on the road, do you see that earth is spherical? Something like it's flat. In fact, this is a very profound topic. It was argued by the best of the brains till 500 years ago. And the one person who said it is round, he was poisoned to death. And I'm scared now. But the assignment is that, see, people somehow, these are the days of fake news. They go somewhere we do not know, they call it satellite, send a photograph of a globe floating around, and they say it is round. How do I believe? But whenever I walk, I see it's flat. And flat as a tennis court or a basketball court. Do you think it's round?
No, sir.
The way he accepts. See, nobody believes. It is all these scientists who are taking the whole the world for a ride. You ask any other person, you cannot see the evidence. You keep on walking, then it's flat. At the other end doesn't come. And that shows, proof is that it is flat. And if you don't want to believe, come with me after the meeting, I'll show you. But these scientists, please don't believe them. They are all really fake people producing lot of technology things and saying that it is it's a world, the planet is a global one, spherical one. I don't believe that. Give me a proof right here, and I'm sure I am going to believe. But I think I can show a proof that it is flat. Just come with me right from here to here, I can show you. Over to table topic, master.
So now we convince that earth is flat, isn't it? So our next speaker is Toastmaster Vijay Upendra.
Thank you, table topic master. My topic is, do you think shyness can be cured? Do you think shyness can be cured is a topic. Good evening, Toastmasters, welcome guests. Yes, shyness can be cured. One of the most important things we all need to understand is we have a controlled behavior because of emotional control from the external world. Whether you like it or not, that's a reality. Over a period of time, when we get into school, colleges, so on and so forth, we realize that shyness is an obstacle for the growth and development of an individual. Once we understand that, internally we make up that I have to overcome this shyness and take or put effort so that we overcome that negative trait within ourselves. Unless we do that, how can we overcome shyness? One of the most important things why we don't overcome shyness is we give too much of importance to the external world. What he thinks, what she thinks, what others think. That's what the main obstacle that we have to overcome within ourselves. That is very, very important. Then only it is possible to overcome shyness. With this, I would like to give the table to master.
So yeah, we convinced that shyness can be cured. So our next speaker is Toastmaster Amitabha.
describe a hidden talent possessed that not many people know. Hidden talent that I have. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. So I have to describe a hidden talent. Am I not looking like an open book? Okay, so talents are often not on my body, probably my mind. Mind is the organ perhaps which is the most hidden organ. It's so hidden that not only all of you will fail to know what is in my mind, but I will also fail to know what is in my mind. So mind is perhaps something that scientists are still trying to figure out how known to be the most amazing organ or complex organ that God has ever created. So with that, let me try to probe what is in my mind today. There are certain things that I end up discovering sometimes which even I did not know I possessed. For example, nowadays, when you surf on the internet, or for that matter, leave any digital trace. Today, everything that we do is in the digital world. So we leave a digital trace behind. And somebody is picking up those digital, what they call, let me call it for lack of a better word, digital dung. So people are picking up my digital dung, or your digital dung, everybody's digital dung. And these so-called marketeers are trying to form patterns of what I am doing, what you are doing, what everybody else is doing, so that they can sell you something beautiful. And so it happened to me that a marketeer came and showed me something. I wondered, yeah, I like this, but how did this guy know that I like this? I liked a particular movie. I normally don't go to movies, but that was the kind of movie that I liked. And perhaps by looking at my browsing behavior, they figured out that that was a movie, that was a taste that appealed to me. And so, all of us have something hidden in us, but in today's digital world, everything is getting picked up by somebody, and they often surprise you about things that even you did not know about yourself and others. About you.
So what about bathroom singers? Okay, our next topic goes to Toastmaster Chinmay.
So, good evening, fellow Toastmasters, fellow guests. Today's topic is, what is the weirdest food combination you have made? What is this? Tried?
Yeah. What is the weirdest food combination you have made and tried?
So, actually, I'm not a cook. Okay. So, just, yeah, like every other guy, I don't cook as well. But I do make a lot of Maggi. And the weirdest thing I've ever done is, me and my brother usually cook Maggi every time, like every week, even though we get scoldings from our parents. Nonetheless, we do cook every time. But what we do is, we add excess of chili flakes, oregano, as well as one more ingredient I forgot. Okay, anyways. But excess of chili flakes and chili powder we do add. And my brother likes eating it a lot, but I don't usually prefer chili much because I'm more of spice intolerant. Yeah. So that's the thing. I don't cook in general. But the weirdest food combination I have ever had was vada pav with cheese. Who does have cheese with vada pav, right? So that's all. So thank you.
I think vada pav with cheese becomes burger, right?
Yeah, and the fun fact is there won't be any vada in that. Only cheese and some missile kind of thing.
Okay.
I
Thank
think
you
we
so
should
much.
bring in a rule with sex, religion, politics. We should include vada pav also. We like our vada pav with cheese.
So our next speaker is Toastmaster Sai Snehal.
Imagine you could create a signature dish to represent your personality. What would it be and why? Topics master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I do like to cook. I cook occasionally. So whenever my mom and dad are out of town, I cook for my sister. I've done that a couple of times, and there's this one situation, one day where I had to cook for my sister, and I just went out for lunch with my friends. And I realized later that I had to cook for her, and she was starving at home. So we ordered some paneer butter masala, which was extra. So I took that home. And there was some noodles that was already prepared, not the Maggi noodles, but that raw noodles. So I made some noodles, I put in the paneer butter masala, and I gave it to her and I told it's paneer noodles. She actually did like it. She didn't know what was the story behind the entire thing. But she was surprised because I came home within 10 minutes, paneer noodles was ready. Forget Maggi also can't be ready, paneer noodles was ready. So she ate it for a long time. After a while, she went to the kitchen, she looked, she didn't find paneer, she didn't find anything, and she started thinking to herself. Then she asked mom, did you make some paneer or something? She's like, no. Then I just spilled the beans and figured out. But my dish that day, honestly, I figured out that the weirdest of the combinations actually make the best taste. I never expected these noodles to be really great, but it turned out to be amazing. There was this time I had masal puri and bel puri mixed. Yes, and it is amazing. Trust me. I'm not joking. This is my favorite thing because I don't have a thing for having dry charts. I always like a little bit of gravy or some sort of being in it. So I tried mixing them both, and it is amazing. If you haven't tried it, you should try it. And this is my signature dish.
Now that was the weirdest combination. Okay, our next topic speaker is Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa. What's your favorite quote or saying, and how does it inspire you?
Generally, I speak to people by quoting some of the things. One of the favorite thing is, I speak is, win-win is neither your way nor my way. Win-win is neither your way nor my way. It is the best way, good way and highway. So, that is the best thing I said. I have a lot of employees in my factory. Somebody says, I can't do this, I can't do that. I always talk to the manager. Suppose if you want to remove 1 gram of gold, how much tons of soil you have to remove? Much more tons of soil you have to remove. When you are doing that, which one you will be observing? You will be observing only the gold. Similarly, when you are observing a person, harp on his strength and not on his weakness. Everybody has a strength, nobody is useless. That is another thing I always talk to the people. When it comes to my wife, I always tell, woman thinks men are like rubber bands. I don't know whether you agree with me or not. Another quote I make it is, when the woman comes out of the well, that means she has a disappointment and other things. We think that her problems are solved and resolved. When she comes out of the well, again she starts loving. We think that our problems are solved and resolved. It is not true. It is an illusion. Because again some more problems will get into this thing. Always I talk when I go to the government office, I will say that my job is done without any underdealing something. I respect other people. First start respecting. That is most important. Even the dog you must respect. That is the most important thing. One thing I would like to share with you. My grandson has come from Dubai. Morning I took him to the yoga. One dog came here with limping. He actually wept. Tata, do something for this dog. It is limping. I can't see, I can't see. So respecting another person is more important. Don't underestimate anybody. Everybody has a tons and tons of knowledge. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge the knowledge of other people and learn out of it. Thank you very much.
That was much more inspired one. So our next speaker is Toastmaster Apoorva.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So my topic is, what was the worst haircut you have ever had? What was the worst haircut? Okay, being a girl, I was always conscious, and I'm very particular about my looks. I'm sure all girls are in this room. Of late, even the guys. I'm sure you would agree. So I coming to the topic, what was the worst haircut you have ever had? Touch wood, I've never faced any such situation. Or it would be my worst nightmare. So I am very particular when choosing a salon. I am very careful in choosing my hairstylist. So this was never the case. But I recall one of my friend who faced a situation where she told me she went to when she came back to college, we were all shocked seeing that she had a haircut of a guy. So we were all surprised. We asked her, how did you end up in such a situation? And she was like, she went to a parlor near her house. She went for an haircut and she closed her eyes and she believed totally on the hairstylist. And when she opened, she actually cut the hair really short, and because of which she had ended up in that hairstyle. So this was one of the most hilarious incident in college, and this was the most hilarious incident and most unforgettable incident too. Thank you.
For us ladies, that would be definitely a nightmare. For our next speaker is DTM U Bhat.
What is now considered classy, but used to be very trashy? Quite a complicated question. Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests, the question asked again, please hear. What is now considered classy, but used to be very trashy? I have to give a thought to it. I don't know, but there are several things. What has become suddenly classy? For example, what comes to my mind readily is, if in my childhood, if someone says that I want to go to a restaurant to eat something, my mother will first jump on my head. What do you mean by I'm preparing good food at home and everything is, and why you go to some lousy people, some people are preparing something and you're eating that? But suddenly you find it has become very classy to go to a restaurant. There's one thing you're seeing today, it's night. Every day, every Saturday you go to any of these places, the restaurants. Because nowadays, because I'm in the in thing, I want to join the bandwagon, so I also joined that. So every Saturday evening, other day, I think with the due regards to Mamatha, he is part owner of a pub called Gulp. So I had been to the Gulp other day with my friends for a chicken and beer and all that. We had a great time. So what I'm trying to say is, suddenly it has become very classy to attend such places. And be there, I've seen all the places eating there and all that. And mind you, that food, whatever you eat there and all, It's not very different. It is just that you are just giving some high amount of money to just for some ambience and showing to other people that yes, that is Saturday, last Saturday, I've been to Lotus in Ashoka. Or something like that. It's become a conversation point. So it has become a more classy thing. Earlier, going out was considered, as something very trashy. Nobody bothers about it. Now it has become the in thing. It is necessary that everybody should go to a restaurant and get to a classy restaurant and splurge on that. Whatever your hard-earned money is there. But unfortunately, I have chosen to join the bandwagon for whatever reasons. So now I have also become thinner with that. But I would definitely not recommend that go with that. And do whatever you are comfortable with earlier than consider what is just because it's classy, do something like that. That's what my take on that, back to man.
What about TikTok and Reels? So our next speaker is DTM Udanka. Define trust in your own words.
Thank you, Topics Master, for that lovely topic, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Trust is something what comes very late to a person. When it comes, it never goes. And to build that bond, it takes, for some people it takes days, for some people it takes months, for some people it takes years together. But once it is there, it's there forever. And this I've experienced it recently. When my dad expired, I knew my friends would come there to help me out. I knew my family is not in a good position to sort things out for the final cremations. I knew there are people for me that day. And that trust what I had in them, it came out true. Naming a few from this club: Toastmaster Sai Snehal, Toastmaster Sindhu, Toastmaster Gaurav. They were not there only for the nth moment. They were there at night. They were there in the early morning, and there were others also who were there to take care of the parts where I was not able to look after. That trust what I had in them, it's come out really good that day. So that's one thing which we built over years, over days, over months, and it takes a long time to build it, but to break it takes a minute or two. So make sure you don't break that trust and have a trust within yourself, and this can do wonders. This trust can do wonders. It's not only that they can help you out, you can rely on them for anything for that matter. Whether you're there, you're not there, they are there for you. Back to Topics Master.
Emotional one, and do not try to break his trust. So I have last two. Anyone wants to come as a volunteer and pick one?
From a very young age, I had cavities in my tooth, and every time it's been compulsory for me to visit the dentist. This brings back to the topic: if you were an apple, how perfect your day would be. So what am I telling here? I wish eating these apples I could keep my dentist away, but often I visit my dentist now. Not that I have cavities, but he's cute like an apple. I go to him and he's like, this time when I went with my mom, he just took a checkup and he's like, you don't have anything, why did you come? And I was like, oh, I just saw a black mark. And then I was like, oh, okay. But my mom did not understand that, neither did he. And I'm still trying to visit the dentist. Next month, maybe finding some other cavity in my teeth. If I was an apple, I would still go to the dentist. So, being an apple, I would not give the doctor away. I would keep in bliss. Thank you.
And the topic was how your perfect day would be if you are an apple. So, you can consider the questions first. So, our next speaker is Toastmaster. I don't know.
Ramakrishna.
Yeah, Ramakrishna.
Good evening to all. My topic is describe your go-to comfort food when you need pick me up.
Describe your go-to comfort food when you need a pick-me-up.
Okay, I like simple food actually, so I don't like much non-comfortable food. So whenever I comfort, I take minimum food, what is reasonable. So I'm not demanding much expectation from anybody. So this is my thanks.
That's all for today, and back to you, MC.
Thank you, Mehjabin. That was a new way of conducting table topics. It is like pick and speak in childhood. Now we'll have a 10 minutes networking break and we'll get back after 10 minutes. I hope everyone had a nice puffs with sweet cake. Welcome back everyone. Now it's a general evaluation session. Today's general evaluator is a PwC employee and a dog lover, and currently is pursuing MBA. Let's welcome Toastmaster Gaurav.
Okay, a very good evening to all the Toastmasters and all the guests. So as everyone was saying, their morning whispers. So the only whisper I hear in the morning is my two dogs snoring will be sleeping next to me. In fact, it's not a whisper. There's no so loud. It's more than actual human being as well. So I don't know who such small creatures can snore so loud. So very good evening once again. So our meeting started at 6:22 p.m. 7 minutes late. That's fine. I just request the role takers to please come a little more in advance, maybe around 6 o'clock, so that I can start on time. Yeah, before I move on to the evaluations and everything, I just request all the members, the form is out, so you can vote for the best speaker, best table topic speaker. I'll just give like 10-15 seconds for that. Okay, as you're filling out, I'll just go on. The business started, the business session at the following points. And we can see that President is ensuring that our calendar is fixed for 27th of August for 25th anniversary that we'll be celebrating. So I request all the members to please be present on that day. Please don't have any advanced plans or anything, and we ensure to have you all over there. And coming to the VP update, which was given on behalf of Toastmaster Ujjwal. So there are few more roles open for next week, so I request all the members to please use that opportunity. Coming to the Sergeant, Toastmaster Lakshmi. One thing I always like seeing you behind the lectern is the way you open up the meeting. I always see that you have your energy on top, and today in fact what I like the most is you are interacting a lot towards the audience, which kept them at the edge of their seat, they were concentrating, they were listening to what you're actually trying to say. So I would say keep up this thing to interact more with the audience, because being a sergeant, it's up to you to refresh them before the meeting starts. Apart from that, you're doing a great job as a sergeant. You're coming on time, ensuring everything is in place, and even the snacks were delicious today, so thank you. And coming to the secretary, she left due to some work, but I'd just like to say she's been doing a very great job as a secretary. In fact, she's taken it a bit, the bit of the task of the secretary a bit notch up. Our Toastmaster Shiva and Toastmaster Pavani used to send it at 7 a.m. In fact, she started sending at 6 a.m., sometimes at 5:30, 5 o'clock. I won't be even awake at that time, maybe I'll be dreaming, and I don't know how she gets time to send it at 5 o'clock in the morning. So in fact, she's a very good secretary, I would say, and till now there's not been any much error in the MOMs that she has been sending every week. So if she was there, I would say a very good job done. In fact, you can see it from the recording as well. And coming to the president, our Toastmaster Balaji. I mean, our president is a very good speaker, in fact, as we all know. And what I like about his presidential addresses is that I always look up to his presidential addresses. He always tends to inspire many of the audience that were listening to him. In fact, he told it's not an inspiring speech per se, but I would say it was a little inspiring from your story. And you're doing a great job as a president, so let's say keep up the good work. And you did all the tasks as a president well, so all the best. Thank you. I'll come to the MC at the end, and we have two speakers today. I request the first evaluator, Toastmaster Sushruth, to evaluate Toastmaster Latha's speech.
Thank you, Gaurav. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, and my tiger speaker, Latha in particular. You clearly broke the ice. We now Meconians know who Latha N is. So I'll be evaluating in two types. First, I'll start with where you excelled it. You had a really good start with a quote, and you had the accent and clarity of words that you used here. I hope everybody understood what you told, and your voice was heard till there. There was no your volume was low like that. Your voice was really good, and you used the stage well. You moved around. You used gestures to convey what you were telling, and you almost checked all the check boxes that were to be used, like your childhood, your career, and your interest as an icebreaker speaker, and where you may have to work on. Most of the time you took was on your career. You could have told more about your childhood. You could have told more about your interests. And one thing that you missed out is why you joined Mecon, why you joined Toastmasters. You told that in your interest that you like to network and be with people. That could have been one reason, but you didn't mention clearly why you joined Toastmasters. And the second thing I would like to say, you had a clear gestures that you were using, in your speech, but there is a difference between gesture and body language, I guess. There are two types of body language. One is closed and one is open. You are a little more closed body language. You are using the little more closed body language. What happens when you use closed body language is the audience gets closer to their mobile phones. So I would suggest use more open body language. Your eye contact was really good. Speak was clear and understandable by the audience. And again, you broke the ice and bad things.
Well, if I have to evaluate the evaluator, so first of all, a great speech, man. And Toastmasters Sushruth, as this is, it's your first time evaluating, I believe. Yeah. First time evaluation, it's top notch. You had this textbook kind of evaluation where you told the good points and where she could work on. As this is a first speech, being the icebreaker, and it focuses mainly on the structure of the speech, like opening, body, and conclusion. Maybe you could have evaluated something based on that. It could have been little less critic because it's the first speech over here. About maybe like body language could have been a next speech where you could have focused on. As it's a first speech, it's okay to ignore few things. And yeah, apart from that, you did a very good job as an evaluator. Please do take more roles in the upcoming meetings, and kudos to you on the first speech, man. And all the best for your next journey. Coming to the second evaluator, Toastmaster Raja, I'd like to invite him to evaluate Toastmaster Jyothi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome to the guest. So, Toastmaster Jyothi, I think you are on fire this term. You've already given one speech, and this is your second speech, and I'm sure, I want you to go with this flow and keep delivering speeches. And I'm sure, you're going to deliver a lot of speeches this term, and congratulations for that. This speech, right? The body language and the voice modulation, I've seen you speak before with that, and it was very good. And so that was perfect. Apart from that, there was some things that was next level. For example, usage of pairs. You said apply, no reply. Right? Resume roaming in Bangalore, physical and off form. Interviews rejected, you rejected few. So those kind of pairs really worked well, and audience were really enjoying that. And the next one I really liked about your speech is you had some kind of suspense. We were thinking, what is going to happen? Is an elderly old man coming to your home? It was totally a weird situation, and but you kind of had that suspense throughout your speech, and you had a fantastic climax as well. So later you showed how that person is knows about your father, and he's seeing you, in terms of as his daughter, or in some that aspect, since he's an elderly man. So all of those things were really good, and you ended with the universe will conspire, what you aspire. So all of that was fantastic. So it was a great speech. And if there is anything that I would say you have to, you can improve upon, there's nothing directly in the speech, the content, your delivery, everything was good. Maybe you can use technique like use of props, or start with something, end with something. Maybe that is something that you can do. And one area is when you had the transition, right, in your climax, where you said it's an elderly man who comes to your home and have those discussions with you, and later it changed into a belief, right? So from doubt it became a belief. So that area you could have made it a little bit stronger. But other than that, it is a fantastic speech. I really enjoyed it. All the best, and I'm looking forward to more speeches from you this term, and I'm sure you're going to rock it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raja. It was absolutely a wonderful evaluation. Again, you had everything in place. And coming to Toastmaster Jyothi, I didn't expect you to be such a humorous speaker. I'm looking forward to see you as a competitor in the next humorous speech contest. And kudos to you on this speech, and all the best for your future speeches as well. So I'll be requesting the role takers, the ABG role takers, to just come and give you a report. So I'd like to call the timer Toastmaster Pavani.
Once again, a very good evening, everyone. Here goes my report. The meeting commenced at 6:22 p.m. Business session went on for 2 minutes 15 seconds. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Lakshmi took 2 minutes 57 seconds, but the time allotted was 3 minutes. The introduction of guests went on for about 2 minutes 26 seconds. The report of minutes of meeting by Toastmaster Sharanye went on for 2 minutes 20 seconds. The time allotted was 2 minutes. Presidential address was allotted 5 minutes, and Toastmaster Balaji has taken 6 minutes 45 seconds. Introduction of Master of Ceremonies was allotted 1 minute and has taken 30 seconds. Coming to the Master of Ceremonies, initial part was allotted 10 minutes, and Toastmaster Mamatha has taken 3 minutes. Overall, the Master of Ceremonies has taken around 6 minutes. Prepared speech session had 2 speakers today. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Latha N has taken 6 minutes 16 seconds. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Jyothi has taken 7 minutes 12 seconds. The table topic session went on for 29 minutes in total, but the time allotted was 20 minutes. We had 11 speakers, where 7 spoke above 1 minute and 4 spoke above 2 minutes, and no one spoke below 1 minute. The individual report has been put up on the board. Networking break went on for 11 minutes 45 seconds. Lastly, individual evaluators were allotted 3 minutes. Evaluator 1 Toastmaster Sushruth has taken 2 minutes 22 seconds. Evaluator 2 Toastmaster Raja has taken 2 minutes 24 seconds. The general evaluation session went on for around 5 minutes till now. Thank you, and back to you.
Well, Toastmaster Pavani is great at what she does, and in fact I've been seeing her every week taking up some or the other role, so all the best, and thank you for being that one person who always be there like, I want to take this. Coming to the R-counter, Toastmaster Abhimaan.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Here is the R-counter report for today. There were only four speakers who used the filler sounds R. So I'll just read out their number of times which they used R. Toastmaster Mamatha used R 2 times. Toastmaster Sushruth used R 5 times. Toastmaster Chinmay used R 2 times. And Toastmaster Gaurav used R 1 time. Thank you.
Well, I've been observing from past few weeks that whenever he says that I want to take up this role, he'll ensure he'll come on time. He'll ensure he takes up the role that he's asked for. So thank you for always being that one person to always come on time, and thank you for taking up more roles. I'd like to see you give more speeches as well behind the lectern. So all the best for your future journey. So coming to the parliamentary procedure evaluator, Toastmaster Madhu.
Once again, good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests. So, coming to parliamentary procedure, all the speakers were adhered to the parliamentary procedure things actually regarding sex, religion, and politician, and switching of the electronic devices. And yes, all the procedures were taken care actually. Thank you.
Coming to the Grammarian, Toastmaster Shivaprasad.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Very good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'll start off with the usage for the word of the day. The verity that a grammarian has to face is that very few Toastmasters use the word of the day. It was used by our Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Lakshmi as usual. It was used by speaker number 2 Toastmaster Jyothi, although I believe the usage was not done properly. So that's it for the word of the day. Now let me come to the not so good usages. One small yelling could have been a bit of yelling. Women don't give their ears could have been women don't give away their age. Understanding the roadblock could have been I understanding could have been just understanding. She works HRD at Infocom could have been she works as a HRD at Infocom. And this one I've seen a lot of Toastmasters saying this. Fellow Toastmasters, fellow guests. So you don't have to say fellow guests. Once you're a Toastmaster, you're a Toastmaster. Like every other guy, I don't cook. So grammatically correct but factually incorrect. Snacks was delicious today. Snacks were delicious today. Any much error could have been very few errors. Little less critique could have been a little less critical. Coming to the good usages for today. Marvelous, merry, Monday, Mekon meetings. Embarked on a journey. Gently nudged him towards. Nurturing and mentoring. Micromanagement. Your mind has a mind of its own. Money is a product of productivity. Pinch my pocket. Not in my realm. I was dazed, dumbstruck. Lingered here for some time. Trying to make both ends meet. If you plant an inferior seed, you can't get a superior plant. Picking up my digital tongue. Spice intolerant. Everybody has tons of knowledge, acknowledge it. Join the bandwagon and splurge on that. With that, I come to the end of my report. Back to the
Well, first like to say thank you to Shiva, because every week someone will take tab G but they end up not coming to the meeting, and the one person that comes to mind to Sergeant or MC is Shiva. Shiva, can you please take this up? He'll with a smile he'll say yes, why not? I'm always there to save your back. So thank you for always stepping up and taking up roles, and every time he takes up a role he ensures that he has a bit of humor in whatever he does. So that's something I always admire in your speeches and the way you speak. So thank you for all the role takers, and can I have huge round of applause for all the role takers. Coming to the table topic master, Toastmaster, Mehjabin. So is your first time taking up? Yes. Okay, you did a very fantastic job. If I have to say, for the first timer, you introduced what is table topic session, just to ensure that everyone has a clarity of what is going to happen in this session. And what I like the most is that I have observed that many first timers will tend to forget to call many non-role takers and in fact give it to someone who already has a role. But you ensure that majority of the non-role takers had taken some topic and ensure that majority of them had spoken today. And if I have to tell one suggestion, as there were many more non-role takers in the meeting, for example, there was Toastmaster Kirtana, there was Toastmaster Sharanye. At the end, you told any volunteers. I would say, in fact, don't go for volunteers, because if you say volunteers, no one will raise their hand. Being a table topic master, it's your responsibility to ensure that they stand up and come over you. So from next time onwards, just don't call for volunteers. Just call whomever comes to your mind, and maybe you could have called Toastmaster Kirtan or someone else. And he had a very unique topics, very diverse topics, not to one particular theme. And you prefer to have chits. So I would say from next time onwards, don't have chits, because as you saw, majority of them found it little difficult to read your handwriting or to understand your handwriting, and majority of them asked you to read it out, in fact. So being a table topic master is preferred to you read it out loud, because if someone comes open up city, they're not able to read properly, that is taking a little bit more time. So if you just say it out loud, everyone is known what is the topic about. So apart from that, you did a very good job as a table topic master. All the best, and looking forward to see you more behind the net. And coming to the main person of today's meeting, Toastmaster Mamatha. As you are a very seasoned Toastmaster, I believe, and just be a little critical in your evaluation. As you saw, a sergeant and president have a very high energy in their whenever they come behind the lectern. For example, Balaji has a very loud voice, and in fact, she has a very unique way of energizing the people. I felt as you spoke today, your energy was little down. Maybe you could have had little more energy. I'm not saying to always cope up with their energy, but maybe you could have little more energy and to ensure that many people had eyes on you. And if I have to little more critical, when you're trying to introduce someone, or like majority of the time, for example, when you're trying to introduce Ralphie Smedley, as it's a very monotonous thing which happens every week, and you coming to meetings so often, like I've seen that many other Toastmasters, when they're trying to introduce Ralphie Smedley, it comes by heart from them. I'm not saying you to by heart it. They could have used little more less script while you're behind the lectern, and when you're introducing someone, for example, Toastmaster Jyothi, I believe both are kind of close in this club, so you can try to introduce her in a more unique way. For example, maybe rather than sticking to the script, maybe you could have introduced her in a more unique way, where you, from your perspective, for example, how Toastmaster Balaji introduced you. So maybe you could have tried something like that. So it's just a takeaway for your next time when you're back as a MC. Apart from that, you are a great Toastmaster, and thank you and all the best for your future. A round of applause. Well, I'll give another 10-15 seconds to you all to vote for the best evaluator and remaining roll takers. Okay, I believe I covered everyone in today's meeting. If I have to tell it in a more overall perspective, it was a great meeting. We had the best speakers, we had the best table topic speakers, everything was in place. I just request the members to please come a bit early, maybe around 6 o'clock, so that we can start on it. Apart from that, it was a great meeting. Thank you, and back to the Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Gaurav, for the great evaluation. Now I call the president here to read out you the returns and end the meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mamatha. Before we actually get to the results, I'd like to call upon DTM K Prabhakara for the induction of our new members. Let's give it up for DTM K Prabhakara.
We have a tradition of inducting new members, and I now request the new members to be inducted to please come and join me here. Madhu, Abhimaan, Apoorva, Chinmay, Latha, all are on one side already. Membership in Toastmasters is a privilege, and the only way to gain benefits of our program is to actively participate. Do you promise to be active members of this club, to attend meetings regularly and prepare fully for your duties?
Yes.
Do you promise to fulfill other points of Toastmasters promise?
Yes.
Have you read?
Yes.
Good. I now request the club members to rise from their seats. Do you members of Mekon Communication Club promise to support Abhimaan, Apoorva, Chinmay, Madhu as they work through Toastmasters program?
Yes.
Please be seated. It's my pleasure now to declare you all installed as members of Mekon Communication Club.
Thank you so much, DTM K Prabhakara, for that induction. With that, let's quickly jump into our results. And of course, before getting into the results, I'd like to congratulate all those 4 members who got inducted today. Let's give another round of applause for them. And like it was rightly read out, Toastmasters is the journey that you need to take for you to take something out of it. You can't be warming your seats week on week and then expect results to come in naturally. It's not a watch and grow. It's a be a part and grow kind of a concept that we are following here. So I just promote all those new Toastmasters to take as much as roles that they can. In that direction, let us all give a nice round of applause for Toastmaster Abhimaan for taking a role every week. Every week he's been taking a role. What is beautiful to see is the comfort at which he stands behind the lectern, and that's exactly what we are wanting to look at. So with that, let's quickly jump into our results. Our best role taker when it comes to Tap G, I wouldn't say or I wouldn't request for your suggestions. I think it becomes quite clear when this person enters the competition, he generally takes on the competition. Toastmaster Shiva. Our best role taker, MTG, of course he's the past president of Mekon. It's not going to be easy if you don't give it to him. And for a good general evaluation, Toastmaster Gaurav. The best table topic speaker, even with all the stringent competition that this speaker faced, he did finally come out glorious. Toastmaster Sai Snehal. You could definitely call that as advantages of feeding a hungry sister. With that, our best evaluator. I don't see any other color on this space because he's definitely the king at whatever he does. Toastmaster Raja. And best speaker, I must say, we have heard her speak a lot of times, but today should be one of her finest talks. The way she landed every single joke, I'm definitely going to learn some landing techniques from Toastmaster Jyothi. And with that, I think you could consider this a general pulse test or a general poll. How many of you seated here? How many of you seated? This is just a pulse check. How many of you seated here will be able to make it on this 27th August, Sunday? That is the 25th year anniversary. This is going to be an exclusive event. Something that Mekonians will be considered for first, and that is when we'll go on to invite our guests from outside of Mekon. So how many of them would be taking part from this room today? Okay, should I ask how many of you won't be available on that day? Okay. Oh, cool. Pardon?
He knows.
Hand raise has to happen. She'll be in USA. I think we definitely will have a provision made for Toastmaster Lakshmi and Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa, but we'll discuss with you both about that provision. And now another pulse test, just to check. How many of you would be willing to get a +1? 50-50 is basically no. A yes is a yes or a no. Okay, so that is 3 Toastmasters, 4 Toastmasters, but still wants to enjoy his bachelor days. Okay, so we will be opening up this provision, but those of you who would be bringing in a +1, please understand it will attract a nominal booking fee for the same, which I think is very, very fair, because as members you all pay towards the club, and as guest they paying you doesn't count as they paying Mekon. With that note, I think we have had a fantastic meet. I love the quality of the meet. On the overall, we had a good time. With that, let's close meeting 1225.